Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and part 3 of my complete colouring book collection tour, including my completed and work in progress pages. Yeah, I need a better title. So yeah, this is part 3 and I will link the playlist for you in the cards and down below so you can watch the rest of the parts and the parts after this. And because there will be more parts, we are not even through one shelf of my collection yet. It's a lot. So today's is a bit of a random selection. These are basically just all my additional square books that are not Kirby or Joanna Basford. So there's quite a few in here, but a lot of these I'm yet to colour in. So yeah. Sorry. Sorry, I'm getting a very dry throat. So we will start with Camilla D'Erico. So I have 2 of her books. I have Cute and Creepy and Dragons and Other Magically Mythical Creatures. I also really want to get the Mermaids one. Not so sure about the classic pop manga. Maybe. But definitely want the Mermaids one. But yeah, we'll start with Cute and Creepy. I have done quite a bit in here actually. So the first one is Little Moon Creature Dog and this little fox. Unfortunately, I thought this book had finished drying and it had not, so we have got some transfer on this page, but it's okay. So on this one, I used Inktense. Was it all Inktense in the background? Yeah, it might have been actually. And then some Kaisercraft iridescent spray and some Posca. And in these books I quite often do use a lot of wet media. I find that with the pop manga series I tend to work very loose, which is a really nice change actually. I find them quite good for when I just want to slap stuff on pages and just get messy and wild and have fun with it. So yeah, it's a good time. But yeah, it is a bit of a shame that it did transfer to this side, but I'll either actually pull out some of the Kaisercraft spray and just sprinkle some around this page, or I'll just use some white to paint over it, or maybe even chuck some red in the background or something. Not really sure, but yeah. So for this one I used Inktense again for the little fox and the bells and stuff, and then I went over just with some like cheap gold glitter glue just to give a little bit of sparkle. It's not even stickles. And a tiny bit of Posca in the eyes. But yeah, it's so cute, that one. So cute. And then the next one in here are these 2. So this was Prismacolor for the 2 creatures. And then I used the Crayola signature glitter markers, I believe, for the background and also the little details on the fairies' wings. They're not the glitteriest of markers, but they have got a little bit of glitter, but it's really not a lot of glitter. But yeah, it's very effective for just filling in the background and yeah, leaving the effect, the focus be on these 2, which I really like. And then we have Miss Muppet and her spider. So the background is Indian ink, and then the Kaisercraft iridescent shimmer spray, which has leaked for a little bit. It does have a tendency to spill through to the next pages. And then on top of that is Crayola signature. I think the signature. They're really terrible. I wouldn't recommend them. They're like a marker that when you draw down, it's meant to be like coloured in the middle and then silver outline, but this one was meant to be black with a silver outline. It just kind of came across as a bit silvery, and then by the end it was like almost running out entirely. So yeah, don't really recommend it, but hey, I used up the marker at least, didn't go to waste. And then Miss Muppet and her spider, Inktense pencils and Prismacolor, and then a bit of Posca. And then somewhere in here. Here we go. This is the next one. This cute little storm dragon. So the background once again. I believe I used the Indian ink and then Kaisercraft shimmer spray in gold and black, and some of the white, and then white acrylic ink as well, and just lots of splatters, which is always really fun. And then the dragon itself is, I think I used the Albert Dürer water soluble pencils, and then went over the top with polychromos and a touch of Posca for the eye highlight shinies. It's so cute. I do love the dragons in here. So cute. Oh, that ghost is so cute. I need to do that ghost. Oh, we have skipped one. We skipped two. My goodness. We've skipped F. How could we? So this one uses watercolor in the background, just Reeves Coltman watercolors, with again the Kaisercraft shimmer sprays in black, navy and white, and then I think I used watercolor as a base for the ghost, and then went over with some polychromos for details, and a little bit of Posca again for the eye shinies. And I tried to keep the colors like really similar, so sort of the bone color for the sky and the skull, and then black for the hood, and then purple for the eyes. And I wish I hadn't done the blue in the background, because the blue really distracts from it because it's not introduced anywhere else. But maybe I can introduce the blue on this page to make it sort of tie in just a little bit more, this sort of navy blue, and then it will sort of relate. And then on this one, so the navy blue did spread through a bit, but to me it kind of just reads like these blood on the bandages of this mummified zombie girl, and because of that I did her skin green to sort of match that, which I like. And then I blocked out the rest of the spray with a black matte paint, which really helps her just like pop out from the background, and I really like. And I have just noticed that I forgot something very important. I forgot the eye shinies. How could I? It's not right if they don't have eye shinies. There we go. That's better. I obviously forgot to go back and do that after letting something dry or something. So yeah, so white Posca as well, and then I believe it's just Neocolor water soluble, not Neocolor, sorry, the Gallery water soluble crayons, and a little bit of polychromos pencils on top for shading. So yeah. Yep, that's dry. Perfect. Alright, now we get to TV Girl. And I actually have a time lapse of this one recorded to upload to YouTube, so you can see sort of my messy background effect that I do on these sort of pages. So this one uses, I think I used Distress inks in the background. I recorded it a while ago. I'll have to go back and look at it. And definitely Kaisercraft shimmer spray and Liquitex acrylic ink for all the splatters, and then polychromos pencils for the girl and the TV and the ghosty creature, and then a gold gel marker just to go over the little daisies in the background and dot all the little daisies on her outfit. So yeah, I do often do sort of very messy pages in these books, but I really enjoy it. It's very freeing, especially after doing a lot of Kirby pages where I work very tightly and controlled. It's fun to come to here and just go slap, slap, slap. So yeah, that was Cute and Creepy Colouring by Camilla D'Erico. And then my other Camilla D'Erico, Dragons and Other Magically Mythical Creatures. So first off we have Three-Headed Dragon, and oh, I love this page. So this one I used a little bit of splatter. I used Distress ink in the background, and then a white gel pen, and then these guys I believe are all polychromos by the look of it, but that kind of looks like Prismacolor underneath. Maybe I used a combination of both. It's possible. I mix and match all the time, so yeah. And then a little bit of eye shinies, which is possibly white gel pen on this page. It doesn't feel like Posca. And then we have Cthulhu, who's so adorable. So in this one I used I think it looks like the Neo Color. It could also, no, it's not Neo Colored. The Gallery Water Soluble Crayons. It also looks like I used ink tints, Kaisercraft Shimmer Spray, Posca, and then stickles for all the little bubbles as well. Oh, I love little Cthulhu. And we have this adorable little fey creature. So the background is Liquitex acrylic ink, and then Kaisercraft Shimmer Spray. The butterflies are done in the Crayola signature glitter markers. And then the fairy herself is done in Prismacolor with a touch of white gel pen on the eyes. I thought I had another one in here, but I am mistaken. Alright. So we have this work in progress, which is literally I have painted the background black. So not a lot else done there, but at least the background is ready to go. Not sure why. It's not like it's covering up anything, but maybe I knew that on this one I think I was planning on doing a lot of splatty backgrounds, so I pre-painted that one black in preparation maybe. Not sure. But yeah, that one's ready to colour. I've just blocked out the background. And that's it for Dragons and Other Magically Mythical Creatures. Speaking of dragons, we have the Dungeons and Dragons Adventures Outlined Colouring Book. I don't see a lot about this one on YouTube, which I get unless you're into sort of tabletop roleplay games like I am. I am a big tabletop roleplay games player. I DM for a number of campaigns. I play in a number of campaigns, including one here on YouTube, which I will link down below. It is a Pathfinder one. It is a lot of fun. We started out with the beginner box set, and now we're continuing on as a bit of a campaign, and from February 18th we will be playing every Saturday, so I will link that. It's run by the wonderful Holt on YouTube here, Incredulous Holt, and he's a wonderful GM and has been great about teaching us Pathfinder. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. But in the meantime, let me show you this Dungeons and Dragons colouring book. Now I have a couple of pages done in here. So first off we have this Mimic. So I don't know why, for some reason I chose to, I guess I was in a painting mood. I used watercolour for the actual Mimic and then acrylics for the background, and I was really trying to limit the colour palette of the background, so it's literally just red to yellow shades, and then the Mimic is like those but with a bit of purple. It's strange because the Mimic should be the most vibrant thing and the background should be paler, so your attention goes here, but I still kind of like it. After I did it, I realised I should probably go back and put acrylic on the Beholder. What am I saying? My gosh, I just said I'm a GM and then I'm completely mislabeling the monsters. Oh goodness, this is like the third one in a row I've recorded. I said in the first one I was going to go for a nap, and then instead I've recorded 2 more parts of this book tour. Yeah, so the Beholder is Winsor & Newton Coltman watercolours, and then the background is Reeves acrylic paints, and then there's a little bit of stickles because of course. But yeah, it's pretty, I'm still pretty happy with how it turned out. And so yeah, this one is all sort of based on classic D&D lore, which is really cool. They have like little things about the different monsters and the lore that they're from, and if you know a lot of old D&D settings and campaigns and stories, you know, it's quite cool to see these classic heroes. And then every once in a while you get one of these double page spreads, which is really cool, which is what I've done here. So I also have a tutorial filmed on this page from quite a while ago, but I love this page. It is very textural, so much so that the book doesn't quite meet anymore. I've split the spine, but basically everything of the dragon's hoard, all the gold, is literally glitter, and there's even little gems in here. And I made my own Stickles glitter glue for this, using Mod Podge and glitters, and I made my own custom blend, and then I applied it, and then I went in and sort of defined everything around the outside of the characters with Posca, and they're coloured in with Inktense and Albert Dürer watercolour pencils, and then, you know, we've got some Posca highlights and stuff. But I really love how this page came together. Like, the literal dragon hoard being glittering gold is just so pretty, and I love it. I have no idea how I'm ever going to colour in this page because it is so textured behind. It's not so bad on this side because, again, we work on this one, but yeah, I might have to look at photocopying this one or something because it's just so textured here. I'm never going to be able to colour that one properly, but I still love how this came together. Just got to be really careful because, again, the spine is split because of the texture of that page. So yeah, that is Dungeons and Dragons Adventures Outlined. And then for the rest of the books, I have yet to colour in any of these. Again, my collection rather than me being a colorist. So the first 2 are by Tomoko Tashiro. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that wrong. So I got these from a local supplier, but I'd never seen his work before, and oh, I'm so glad I did. They're really beautiful, highly detailed books. They're going to be really stunning to colour in when I eventually do colour in. So I've got Princesses and Fairies, and then Fairy Tales. And the fairy tales are each sort of split up into different fairy tales, like Hansel and Gretel. I believe there's like a Cinderella and a Snow White, and yeah, Little Red Riding Hood. It's a really neat style, and I'm really looking forward to working in these books. And if you see any books in my book tours that you would like a closer look at, please feel free to comment down below and say, hey, could you show me yada 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 book, and I'll gladly film a specific flip through and book tour of said book for you. But there's just so many books to go through, so you know, I can't sit here and flip through every page of every book. Another book that I have not worked in is Alan Roberts' The Beauty of Horror. So this is the very first one in the series. I believe there's now 6 of these books. Yeah, so horror's not something I usually do, but you know, I'm willing to try anything once. So I brought this hoping for it to arrive before Halloween. It did not. So I've now got this for maybe Halloween this year, or maybe if I'm just in an inspired mood and want to colour some zombies or something a bit creepier. Alright, the next one I have is Mythographic Imagine. This is one by Joseph Catimbang. Ugh, words are hard. So Mythographic is a series, and they do have a number of different artists that come in. I need to get more of the Mythographic series. They are really fantastic books, and they're single-sided. They're very reminiscent of Kirby. They also have a tearaway, so you can work on them separate from the book, which is great if you want to do wet media, and you can just sort of push it back in and pretend it's always there. Yeah, but I have not worked in here yet. I really need to. And there's so many of the Mythographic series that are just like, oh, they're so pretty. So I could see myself falling down the rabbit hole and getting a lot more Mythographic, but we're trying to be good. Trying. The next one I have is Birds and Butterflies by Alice Chadwick. Now, I have not coloured anything in here, but I believe there could be something coloured in here. And the reason is because I actually got this book from the second-hand shop. I actually ended up getting about 7 books. 7 colouring books when I went to the op shop. I was so excited to find colouring books on the shelf. I was like, I don't care. I grabbed the lot. I was like, oh my god, colouring books, and they were all colouring books I didn't have. And then I brought them home and I realised that a number of them were actually knockoff ones. Like there was a couple of Joanna Badsford. There was a I'm having a mind blank. She does a whole bunch of animal ones. If I remember the name, I'll insert the text here. I can picture her books. But it was like her Wonderful Wildlife. It was a knockoff of that one. And I didn't realise at the time when I brought them in the bookshop, the second-hand bookshop, because it was all dingy and dark, and then I got them home and I was like, oh, that's a knockoff. That's a knockoff. That's a knockoff. It's got a little bit of damage to the front. I thought there was 1 page coloured in here, but I guess I'm mistaken, so it's okay. It's not like something I would naturally reach for too much, but it's something that I could see colouring with my niece. I like to have a couple of books like that around just in case, if you know she's around here and we decide to colour, and she wants to colour in my books. She doesn't want to colour in the kids' books that I've got, which, you know, I get it. I'd rather colour in these books too. So at least I can pull this one off the shelf and go, shall we colour some birds and butterflies? Because, you know, she likes bees and insects and bugs and stuff. So there's a lot of interesting things in here that'll be good to colour in with her. And the rest of the books that I picked up have been, a couple of them were given to my niece, and then a couple of them have been given to a friend who is just starting to learn to colour. And I was like, hey, want a pile of colouring books, so yeah. And then the final book is actually one of my latest purchases, and it is A Court of Thorns and Roses colouring book. So I'm trying to be careful here, not show too much of the book, because I know one of my friends could be possibly watching this video and I don't want to give spoilers. But I got this book because me and 2 of my friends are in a little book club and we are reading the series. Myself and one of the friends have read this series. I still have not read the 5th book, but I want to reread the series before I tackle the 5th book. And then the other friend is reading the series for the first time. So we're sort of matching her as she reads the book, and doing a little book club, and it's really fun. And I was like, oh, I know there's a colouring book. I'm going to grab that because I really do like Sarah J. Maas's books. Masses? The plural. But yeah, I do like per series. I actually really like the Crescent City series the most, but it's really good to go through this series again. So yeah, this is the rest of the square books on my shelf. Still not the complete first top layer of my shelf. We're almost there. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this tour of these books. Not as many coloured in these ones. I really do need to get to more of these. So please let me know down below which was your favourite of the ones you saw today, and which ones you reckon I should get into next, if there's any particular pages that you saw. And also, if you want to see a tour of any of these books in particular, some of these books I don't see so much on Colouring YouTube, so if you want to flip through any of these books in a closer look, please let me know down below and I will happily film one of those for you. But yeah, thank you for joining me in this part of my colouring book collection. And I'll see you in part 4, where hopefully we will finish shelf 1. Bye guys.